Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Kari with Crochet Me Knots. Welcome back. If this is your first time, please don't forget to subscribe on your way out. And as always, please don't forget to check my description box for any corrections that may be needed, any notes on the video, and then of course my links to Instagram accounts and my eBay store. So on today's tutorial, we are going to be making this ear saver using the crocodile stitch. It is a little bit challenging if you're a beginner. I'm not gonna lie to you, so that's why I said intermediate. But since we're just making an ear saver and it's not a complete blanket or anything else, I think it's pretty tolerable. So it's probably gonna, you might need to pause and rewind a few times to get it. I won't go too fast on it, but like I said, thankfully, since we're just making the ear saver, it's not gonna be a long project using the crocodile stitch. I made this size, which is an adult size, and I always like to mention the measurements because for ear savers you have to be very careful about the length you're using. Because when you put the elastic on the buttons, it's going to pull on your mask, and if you make the ear saver too short, it might make the mask fit too tight around your face. So that's one of the reasons why I give measurements. People have asked, why do you do that? Why don't you just, give us a a number of chains? In this case, we're not going to start with a foundation chain because we do make each individual little scale by itself. It's crocheted in one piece, but we do make each one. So you don't need a number of chains. You would need a number of scales in this instance. So I made 7, and this is the adult size. So I would suggest for a child, maybe use just making 6 if you're using the same weight yarn, which is the medium. I'm going to be using a medium weight. If you're using a thinner yarn, then that's why I give you measurements. For kids, it's usually between 5.5 to 6.5. So this would be good for a teen or an adult because it's about almost 7 inches. And adult sizes usually vary between 6.5 and 7.5. And that, again, is depending on the elastic on your mask. Okay, so what we need is, of course, medium weight yarn. So I'm going to use this aqua blue. We're going to use a 5mm hook. You're going to need 2 buttons. We're going to need a hand needle to sew in our buttons at the end, and a pair of scissors. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and get everything we need and let's get started. All right, guys, so we're going to start with our slip knot. And we are going to chain 5. Okay, so now we are going to double crochet into the 3rd chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go ahead and do a double crochet. Now we're going to chain 1. We're going to skip that next chain, so we're going to skip that 4th chain, and into that last chain, that 5th one, we are going to crochet 2 double crochets. Now, an idea that's really pretty, if you want to make each of the scales a different color, I think that'd be kind of cute for a little girl. So I'll let you know when would be a good time to change your color if you want to go ahead and do that. In this case, for the tutorial, I'm not going to do that. It's just going to take more time, and I'm just going to use one color. But I'll let you know when it would be good to switch colors. All right, so after we have our 2 double crochets, we're going to chain 2, and we're going to crochet 5 double crochets into that space between these 2 double crochets. So this chain 2 will count as a double crochet. So we are going to crochet 5 more into that space between those 2 double crochets. That's 5. All right, so we're going to chain 1. And now what I suggest you do is fold these 2 down and then just pop this guy up, that double crochet, because we're going to crochet 6 double crochets into that space there. So 6 double crochets into that space. And you can start pulling them down, give you some space. And 6. All right, so now we have our 6. Okay, so now would be a good time to switch colors if you're doing that. We are going to slip stitch into that. See the top of that? So those 2 little, we're going to slip our hook in there and then just slip stitch. Oops. So if you want to change colors, I would cut my yarn now, and then I would go ahead and slip stitch, but before completing it, I would pull the new color through, and that way you can start with the new color. Okay, so once we slip stitch, we are going to chain 2, and now we're going to put a double crochet those 2 little loops we see right there. We're going to crochet it into the back of those 2. So we're going to grab those and we're going to put a double crochet there. Now we're going to chain 1, and we are going to put 2 double crochets in this little space. You see those 2 little strands, those 2 little loops. So we're going to double crochet into that. I'm going to put 2 double crochets in that little space. Okay, and now we're going to repeat what we did earlier. So chain 2, this counts as our first double crochet, and we're going to crochet 5 double crochets into that space between those 2. Okay, that's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chain 1. All right, and we're going to do the same thing. So now we're going to, I like to fold it down like that. So this little guy, I'll pop it up. That's, we're going to crochet our 6 double crochets into this guy there. That double crochet. And 6. All right, so there we have our second little scale. So once again, if you're switching color, then you want to leave a little strand, leave a little tail, cut, and then slip stitch and pull the new color through. Chain 2 and double crochet into those 2 loops, and we just keep repeating that. Chain 1, 2 double crochets into that space, chain 2, and put our 5 doubles and just repeat everything else. So go ahead and keep crocheting your scales until you have the right amount. If you're making an adult size, then you would need 7. If you're using the medium weight, If you're using medium weight, but you want to make it for a kid, then I would make 6 scales. So continue making that, and I'll come back and show you. I'm going to finish this scale just to show you how to finish off the ear saver, and I'll be back for that. Alright guys, so you should have the number of scales you need according to the length that you need. So here, before finishing off, instead of doing the 6 double crochets to finish off, we're just going to do 5 double crochets. And then to fasten off, we are going to chain 2 and then just go ahead and slip stitch into the center there and go ahead and just fasten off. So you can go ahead and cut your work. And there you go. So that is the crocodile stitch in a simple manner, because it is labor intensive if you're making. I'm sure if you're a fan of the crocodile stitch, it's beautiful, but it is labor intensive. So there you go. You should have your length, and now you just sew in your buttons at the ends and you are ready to go. I think I'm going to make one changing colors and see how that looks. I think that'd be really cute for a little girl, or maybe like an ombre, like a gradient starting with like this aqua blue and ending with like a darker blue. That'd be really cute since we don't have to make a whole lot of them. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial using this crocodile stitch. Go ahead and check my description box and go ahead and subscribe. Don't forget, make sure your alerts are on so you can get notifications when I post a new video. Alright guys, so please stay safe and I will see you on the next one. Bye guys.